180. Kevin Harvick, that 29 car, outside pole sitter, trying to push Michael Waltrip by, on board with Kevin Harvick.
Ward Burton in the 22, Todd Bodine in the 66.
Yeah, those guys are in the high lane. They don't want to be there because they've got a lap car in front of them, and they'd like to get around that car of Robert Presley as soon as they can, because they feel that they're not going to get a whole lot of help if you got a lap car in the way.
Here's Elliott Sadler with his car.
He did not get off turn 2 well at all. And you see, as he lost momentum off the corner, those guys going by him on the outside.
Dale Earnhardt Jr. a couple of minutes ago came back out of the garage, radioed his crew, said, "Hey guys, it's alive again. Let's go back at it. Watch this." He was in a hurry. I think he's about out of patience today, do you think?
Well, he goes in wanting to win the race so badly, and as they all do, all 43 wanted to win. And when something happens like that, they get very frustrated.
Good run for Michael Waltrip to the inside of Ryan Newman. 7th spot there. Matt Kenseth trying to push Jeff Gordon back. Look at the Roush freight train there. 6, 17, and 97. 3 of Jack Roush's cars running together.
And nobody lined up that 24 car.
Jeff Gordon has no friends in that little deal.
Well, you know, you beat people often enough. When you need their help, you'll find you don't get it as much.
This is the second time this has happened to him in this race. Remember, he started 3rd but couldn't find any friends at the beginning of the race, and that's when he and Johnson fell backwards. Same thing happening again, guys.
Oh, comes off right up against that wall off turn 2.
Good day for Roush so far.
Right now, 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 24th.
Sterling Marlin, couple of times a winner of the Daytona 500. He did it in back-to-back years, 1994 and 95. He's the leader at 113 of 200 laps. You're watching the Daytona 500 on NBC. The 44th Daytona 500 coming your way live on NBC from the Daytona International Speedway, approaching 300 miles in the Great American Race. At NBCSports.com, you can check out a special subsection, in-depth coverage of today's race in NASCAR's new season. BP's mailbag is in there. It's got the hottest topics surrounding today's race, and Wally been doing a little writing too, I hear.
Yes, I have.
Is it any good?
I don't know. I haven't seen it yet.
Oh, okay.
I've had a lot of help.
Want to see how they edited you, huh? That's at NBCSports.com, and if you want to see the encore presentation of the Daytona 500, tomorrow at noon Eastern and Pacific on TNT.
These guys in single file are just trying so desperately to get away from the rest of that pack. And you've got 3 guys at the head of this deal that are some of the best drafters there are in a super speedway. I mean, Sterling, Ricky Rudd, Mark Martin, these guys normally don't make any mistakes. And they are going to just stay in line. They're just trying to get away from that pack.
Michael Waltrip trying to work his way back to the front. The defending 500 winner showing in 7th spot. That 15 car is Michael.
Through the windshield there, not too bad. Fisher's pretty good. Saw the Busch race yesterday, later on in the day, and boy, that sun comes right up over there by them grandstands BP, and it was very difficult to see out of those cars.
The problem with this shot, all those cars in front of you. That's what's wrong with this shot. Michael Waltrip wants to see nothing but blue sky and black racetrack and nothing in front of him. Right now, Michael Waltrip is in 7th position.
You can see he's moved up steadily since the restart. And again, the field beginning to sort out single file as we put a few laps in on this set of tires.
You know, we've seen all day that the leader is very difficult to pass. When Shauna Robinson was in front of these cars, the pace dropped off 2 or 3 miles per hour, down to 181, 182, and they still couldn't pass. And a lot of the guys think one reason is because of the negative air pressure in the carburetor. You see the air goes up across the car, and there is the cowl opening where the air goes in for the carburetor. But as you get behind the car, that airflow leaves that other car and misses the cowl, misses the windshield. You lose the positive air pressure going inside. It becomes a negative and therefore robs you of a great deal of horsepower.
And we have not seen very many passes for the lead, certainly not in the final laps of races this week. Will we see some today?
And I think that the Shauna Robinson thing to me was the most telling thing of all.
And I think we've seen, like in the 125s, they're going to have to make a plan and gang up on the leader a lot earlier than just 1 or 2 laps before the end. They're going to have to do it 5 or 6 laps in it because it takes that long to get things lined up and try to make that pass.
Well, they're ganging up on Ricky Rudd right now. He's been shuffled from second farther back into the top 10. It's all going on behind Sterling Marlin, the leader of the 44th Daytona 500. Next time he crosses the start-finish line will be at 300 miles. The Daytona 500 continuing at the Daytona International Speedway with Sterling Marlin out in front. Just past 300 miles, Alan Bestwick, Wally Dallenbach, Benny Parsons here with NBC's first live broadcast of the 500. Been a pretty exciting race so far, BP.
Yes, it has. And you see we all got the memo for the Great American Race. Blue, white, and red.
Very good. Very good. Wally, we've seen, I think, more competition, more lead changes than we expected to coming into the race.
Yeah, we did. I mean, I talked about patience at the start, which I think we have seen a lot of patience. There's been a lot of courtesy out there, so to speak. But, boy, if it stays like this towards the end of the race, it's going to be a heck of a finish.
What we are seeing right here is the intensity picking up a lot.
Everybody's trying to get in position here. Although we still have a lot of laps left, you've got to be in that lead group, that top 6 or 7 or 8 cars if you're going to have a shot to win. That's where everybody's trying to get right now, in that lead little group.
And just a moment ago, Dale Earnhardt Jr., the 8 car, was back on the racetrack right in front of Michael Waltrip, and it looked like those guys were going to run up to the front. But Junior made it by the 17 car. Kenseth, Michael was not able to, and you see they're still back there side by side, although Michael has the drafting help from Jeff Gordon. Now it looks like they're going to be able to get by.
Yeah, but see, you see the 8 car keeps moving high, and I know he's trying to follow that draft, but that's not helping Michael. The only way he's going to help Michael is if he stays down in front of Michael so Michael can pick up on his draft. But if Dale moves up the racetrack like he did there, it's not really going to help him.
Michael Waltrip to 3rd. Let's take you through the field, get some updates on teams' races and their strategy from here to the finish. We start with the leaders, Sterling Marlin. Here's Matt Yoakum.
Right now, Alan, I talked to Lee McCall, Sterling Marlin's crew chief. Marlin trying to get another Daytona 500 win, but right now they're on a gas conservation run. And he's also just saving the car, knowing there's a lot of race left in this Daytona 500 today.
And Matt, Mark Martin is running very well. In fact, he stayed out on the last opportunity to pit. I checked with his crew chief, Ben Leslie. I said, why'd you stay out? Everything okay? You can make it on one more stop? No comment. Just a wry smile from Ben Leslie. They're doing very well. Matt?
Dave, I spoke to Slugger Labby, Michael Waltrip's crew chief. He said first they had an equalized tire, but he says the car, they loosened up Michael. He says the car is very good now. He is very comfortable with this 15 car. To Dave.
Matt, in the last round of pit stops, Matt Kenseth, Mark Martin's teammate, came in and changed only 2 right side tires. They believed they had fixed the car a little bit, and the last quotation from Matt was not bad at all. Matt, back to you.
Dave, an update on the 97 car of Kurt Busch. I talked to Sean Parker, the car chief for Kurt Busch this year. He says that Kurt is very, very excited about this 97 car. He's getting very antsy. The veteran crew chief, Jimmy Finnick, has had to calm him down, so there's a lot of race left. They took on 2 tires in the last stop. No adjustments, Bill.
Well, Matt, everything going well so far for Jeff Gordon. In fact, It's basically the kind of race you'd expect to see from an experienced veteran, working his way toward the front, hoping to be around at the end and make his move then. I just talked to his crew chief, Robbie Loomis. He said everything's good, hoping to do it on one more stop. That's the story on the 24. Behind him, Ricky Rudd, who was running second to Sterling Marlin, and he's now moved around the 24. Ricky is trying to work his way back to the front. The 88 slowing down. Let's go back upstairs.
Bill, Dale Jarrett just seemed like he lost about 15 spots on the backstretch. Came across the start-finish line last lap by up in 11th. And right now he's back in 24th.
Well, my guess is that the car got loose, pushed, or someone got in front of me. All he had to do was back off the throttle, probably. And when that happens, see his last lap speed around 179. All you got to do is back off the throttle a little bit, and it just kills these cars. So hard to accelerate back up speed.
Matt Kenseth trying Michael Waltrip for third.
And looks like Michael's got that outside position. Who's going to help who? Who's got help?
Both of them. Ricky Rudd behind Kenseth, Rusty Wallace behind Waltrip.
And Michael maintains that third spot.
Jeff Gordon knocked back a few spots in that last exchange.
Man, did you see somebody bottom out there?
Rudd? I think it was Rudd.
Looked like Ricky Rudd's car bottomed out badly down the middle of 1 and 2.
Just radioed in. He's lost the handle big time. Lost the handle big time. It's the second time it's happened to him in about 10 laps, Benny. A few laps ago, he radioed in with the car just slid up the track. That's why he fell out behind Sterling Marlin. He got the field back, started moving forward through the field, got around Gordon, but now he says he's lost the handle again.
Kevin Harvick sliding around Matt Kenseth.
And he's got help with Jeff Gordon right behind him.
Rusty Wallace on the outside in the 2.
And Jeff pushes and tries his best to get by, and Harvick gets through. Is Gordon able to clear Rusty Wallace? No. Oh, Ward Burton's on the outside of 97, and luckily the spotter did his good job. The guy up here told Kurt Busch that someone was on the outside of him. He did not come up and pin him against that second turn wall.
About 20 laps away from what would be final pit stops if the race stays under the green flag. 130 of 200 laps complete. Sterling Marlin leads. Tonight, NBC's coverage of the Olympic Winter Games continues. You'll see the presentation of that disputed gold medal in figure skating to Soleil and Peltier. That's part of NBC's coverage of the Winter Olympic Games. Should be a great moment tonight at 7 Eastern Time.
Sterling Marlin still continues to lead the Daytona 500. You know, his first race was in 1976. Did not get his first victory until 1994. That was a Daytona 500. He said that is by far the biggest thing that ever happened to him in his racing career, was winning the Daytona 500.
Marlin's second-generation driver out of Columbia, Tennessee. His dad, Cuckoo Marlin, a Winston Cup competitor for many years. Now his son, Stedman, starting to make his way up the NASCAR ranks.
Now you see this first pack here. I'll guarantee you these guys they're all waving to each other. There's a lot of hand signals on a restrictor plate race. Here's one of them. Here's